Welcome guys to another Champions League video. This time I brought Elmo on board. You may obviously know him from the podcast and the predictions. This time I brought him on for his European expertise.
Which I've got lack of.
You've got loads of it. You've been to many places. Didn't say European football expertise.
I've been to 3 European places. But yeah.
Okay, so I'm the European expert. Brilliant.
Yeah, definitely.
So we've had obviously 3 games for each team in each group. We're at the halfway stage. So we're going to go through and recap what's happened, what we predicted, and how well we're doing, and any standout results. It's been just as interesting as the Premier League, without some of the contentious and ball decisions. But so we are almost 40% of the way through the entire tournament so far, and we are averaging just over 3 goals per game. So we've got plenty to talk about, and what better place to start than Group A and reigning champions Bayern Munich, who are currently top in the group, 3 wins out of 3, ahead of Atletico Madrid in second with 4 points, Lokomotiv Moscow on 2 points, and Salzburg on 1 point. And there's a couple of standout results in this game, in this group, both of them from Bayern. Beating
Bayern have kind of like continued from the Champions League run last season, and they were scoring just tons of goals.
They really have, obviously putting 6 past Salzburg in a 6-2 win, but for me the standout is beating Atletico Madrid 4-0 on the opening game. I don't think anyone expected that, really.
No, Atletico haven't been good at all this Champions League so far.
No, obviously they went out last season to Leipzig, which was a bit of a shock, really. And they just haven't seemed to recover, to be fair. They seem like one of them teams that are struggling with the no fans in the Champions League. One of these, obviously, shock results for them as well was the draw against Lokomotiv Moscow, who neither of us gave a chance to, really. So
yeah, I think the draw with Salzburg and that draw just put on 1 point above Salzburg, so it's kind of surprised us. And like you say, we've still not got fans in. The world's still an absolute mess, so the next 3 games, anything could happen.
Yeah, obviously you expect Bayern Munich to go through now with maximum points after 3 games, but Atletico Madrid could be in trouble. All it takes is them to, struggle against Salzburg or Lokomotiv Moscow, and they could be looking at the Europa League football. We both actually had the same predictions for this group, so we're half right on this. We both had Bayern at the top, Atletico Madrid in second, then Salzburg, then Lokomotiv Moscow. So we're not doing too bad on that. You say the draw against Atletico for Lokomotiv was quite a surprise for everyone, really. And that's virtually all that's stopping us getting maximum marks on that group. And if you've been watching our predictions, you know that's a rarity. Which is pretty much summed up by Group B, which is chaos. So for Group B, we have Borussia Mönchengladbach top of the group with 5 points, Shakhtar Donetsk second on 4 points, ahead of Real Madrid also on 4 points, and Inter Milan bottom on 2 points. And, well, Shakhtar Donetsk 3, Real Madrid 2 is...
I think the 2 big shocks here are obviously Real Madrid, potentially, if they don't pull the finger out, not getting into the group stages. And one of the standout results, is Mönchengladbach smashing Shakhtar Donetsk 6-0.
Yep. Mönchengladbach are now the second top scorers after Bayern Munich, so I wonder why. But I say Shakhtar beating Real Madrid in Madrid, and I mean that result's shocking enough as it is, but when you actually look at it in reality, they was missing almost all their first team due to coronavirus. They had a 16-year-old goalkeeper making his debut, and they go and beat Real Madrid, and then in Madrid's next game, they have to come from 2-0 down in stoppage time to draw with Mönchengladbach. And yet they're still not the worst team in the group.
I mean, having Inter down there as well, rock bottom with just 2 draws. This is, if you looked at this, you'd think this is like the Premier League because it's not where you expect teams to be.
No, not at all. And obviously Real Madrid didn't have the best Champions League season last year. They brought Zidane back in to, try and remedy that, and it's not going great this year. However, they are only 1 point off top.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, everything could change. It is very tight, and Inter could still qualify. That's how crazy it is. But like you say, they brought in Zidane, who under them they won it 3 years in a row, was it?
Yep.
So, but in the league, and we'll look at Atletico as well. Obviously, we're talking about them. Atletico's been doing okay in the league. They're third, sorry, and they haven't lost any games. But Real Madrid are fourth in the league as well, so they're having a poor season all round. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, Real Madrid have scored 7 goals in the Champions League. They're joint 6th top scorers in the Champions League, which you sort of expect from Madrid. But they just haven't been getting the results. And like I say, against 2 teams, because Mönchengladbach were also struggling due to coronavirus issues. Against 2 teams that are struggling for first team players as it is not great. But then obviously they went and beat Inter, so that was a big result for them.
Yeah, we talk about shock opening games. Shakhtar beating Real Madrid 3-2 on the opening game of the group was a bit of a shock, and then only getting a draw against Mönchengladbach. It's going to be interesting. I would love to see it finish as it is now in 3 games' time.
Yeah, I mean, that would be probably one of the biggest shocks ever in the Champions League. Should Real Madrid and Inter both go out at this stage. But
I mean, we both had the top 2 the same. We both had Real Madrid at top, and we both had Inter finishing second, which we're a little bit wrong there.
I mean, that could quickly change around. Hopefully, kind of. I mean, we're not getting no points for these predictions. I don't particularly care what happens. I'd rather Real Madrid go out. I don't like it.
I think we should do points now.
Okay, we'll do points.
I had Shakhtar finishing third and Mönchengladbach finishing fourth. You had Mönchengladbach finishing third and Shakhtar finishing fourth. As it stands now, it's all open. It could finish anything in 3 games' time.
That is basically the group. Whoever gets 2 wins now is going through.
This is where the old draws.
Yeah, which would be fine because then Real Madrid have got hats as well. So Group C gives us our first English team with Manchester City top of the group, maximum points. Porto in second with 6. Olympiacos third on 3 points, and Marseille bottom on 0. Man City kicked off their group campaign beating Porto 3-1 at home. Travelled to Marseille, getting a 3-0 victory there, and then another 3-0 win at home to Olympiacos in their third game. So City played 3, won 3, scored 3 in every game. And, for the 3rd year in a row going out before the semi-finals.
I mean, City's another team that, just like Real Madrid, they're having a poor season in the league. They've definitely had a poor start. This is probably one of the best seasons that they've had in the Champions League for a start. In the first 3 games, anyway. City's one of these teams that because of how dominant they've been in the Premier League, you expect them to be doing really well in the Champions League year in, year out, and they're just missing the mark in Europe, which is it's strange. But do you think that their current form in the Premier League might start creeping in the next 3 games in the Champions League? Especially behind the games become fast as well.
I think they've given themselves enough for a safety barrier now to make it through the group, regardless. But then on the flip side, they might think, well, Premier League's gone this season already, but all is focused on the Champions League. I don't think City's owners would let them do that. And
I think the rule of thumb for Champions League is usually 10 points and you're safe, so they only need one draw in the next 3 games.
yeah, the Porto result was a bit of a shock for me. I expected it to be a bit closer than 3-1, especially after Porto took the lead. But without a doubt, their star man has been Ferran Torres, who scored in every group game so far for them. Gundogan's also scored in 2, so not particularly 2 players at the start of the season you'd expect to be really setting the Champions League alight for City. Obviously, we didn't know much about Torres because he was a new signing for them, but he really stepped up, at least in the Champions League, after the injuries to Aguero and Jesus.
Yeah, obviously we spoke about in the predictions, in the Premier League predictions, we spoke about how Man City are just lacking that firepower up front right now. But I do believe that Jesus returned for the last game against Olympiacos and scored a goal.
Yep.
So that kind of gave faith to Man City with their lack of attacking.
Yeah, I mean, a surprise for me as well in this group is Marseille being bottom below Olympiacos. Because I generally see Marseille is still a decent team. They probably aren't doing as well as they should in recent years for a team of their stature. But they are a bigger team.
They have a lot of decent players, but they're kind of like a feeder club, aren't they?
Yeah, a lot of obviously promising players, but
I think that's one of the biggest issues for them. That they've got the talent, but they ship that talent out and they don't build a team around all that talent.
Yeah, we both had Marseille finishing 3rd in this group above Olympiacos, and there is only one win between them. That's deciding it. What we had different was the top 2. I had City winning the group and Porto in 2nd. You had them flipped around, Porto top and City in 2nd.
Yeah,
so you're still confident about that?
I mean, it could still happen.
It could.
I just think Man City's not looking good. I mean, I was looking towards, looking at last season anyway, and especially towards the end of last season, Man City. And looking how they've started this season, I just didn't have much confidence in them actually doing as well as they have done in the Champions League. I'd say it could still happen. You know, the game against Porto would be a big decider for that. If Porto can get 3 straight wins, or at least 2 wins, and then maybe a draw against City, you know, it's still open for Porto to finish above them. But if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
It's true. I mean, they'll still be going through either way you'd expect, so that'll be the biggest thing in their eyes. And I think with what we're seeing so far in the Champions League this year, it's not going to matter too much whether you do finish top or 2nd, because there's going to be some tough teams in both pools. It's just going to be whether you play at home 1st or 2nd.
I mean, potentially, finishing 1st. Sorry, obviously you play 2nd in the group, don't you? In whoever it's drawn against. That could be Real Madrid at the moment.
Yeah, currently Juventus is 2nd in their group, Atletico Madrid 2nd in their group. Teams like Ajax, who are normally decent in the knockout round, are also a big test for whoever really wins the group. There's going to be some fantastic games in the knockout rounds. Group D, we get another English team. Liverpool top on 9 points ahead of Ajax in 2nd on 4 points, Atalanta on 4 points, and poor Midtjylland at the bottom on 0 points. Midtjylland perhaps haven't done quite as bad as people expected. They haven't really been whipped in every game, minus the Atalanta beating them 4-0.
Yeah.
I mean, they even scored against Ajax, so for a team that's making a debut in the Champions League, that's about as probably good as they can expect in what is a tough group for them. I know when the draw happened, you said to me that this group is one to watch as a pretty tough one.
Yeah, I thought it would be a lot tougher than what it has been, to be honest with you. You know, I literally did, especially the last game. I thought that the big game in this group would have been Atlanta versus Liverpool.
Yeah,
Obviously, that wasn't the case on the third game of the group where you smashed Atlanta 5-0.
yeah,
But when it restarts, obviously you play Atlanta again, so it could be completely different. But you know, I had Atalanta finishing second in this group anyway, with Liverpool top.
yeah. I mean, as it
Um,
stands, I've got this group spot on at the moment. So
yeah, but you have got Ajax and Atalanta level on points, so that could swing either way. I think they're the only difference is what we've got. You've got Atlanta third, I've got them second. You've got Ajax second, I've got them third. So that could swing either way in the next few games. Other than that, I think we're both looking very close to having this correct.
and Ajax play Atlanta in the last group game as well, so that could quite possibly be a decider between the two. Obviously, Liverpool
Early
beat
kick-off as
Ajax.
well.
Yeah, Liverpool beat Ajax 1-0 in the first game thanks to an own goal. Then beat Midtjylland 2-0, which was a bit of a disappointing result for me. I expected those to, put a few past them before then the aforementioned 5-0. So I sort of expected them last two to be flipped around, really. But Jota obviously getting his hat-trick in the Atalanta win, and Liverpool have got a 5-point cushion now to the two teams. So again, another team that you sort of expect to go through now and really should be topping the group at this point. But as we just said, it doesn't really make that much difference whether you're top or not. The only thing that go on.
A win against Midtjylland and Liverpool's pretty much throw out.
Yeah. I was going to say the only difference it could potentially make is who plays at home second. And as we spoke before we came on air, the last 16 rounds are being played the middle of February and then middle of March. There's a full 4 weeks between them. And potentially fans could be back in some grounds for them second legs.
Yeah.
So whoever then gets the home game in that one could have a bigger advantage. But again, we don't know. We're just speculating at this point. Liverpool are the first team that we've come across.
Anything anymore.
No, Liverpool first team we've come across so far that haven't conceded a goal yet this campaign. And the other team that hasn't are in Group E, another English team in Chelsea.
Yeah, this kind of shocked me as well, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't particularly expect him to concede against Krasnodar, unfortunately. Potentially against Rennes, but Sevilla would be the big one. So as this table stands, Chelsea are top ahead of Sevilla in second, both on 7 points, and then Krasnodar and Rennes third and fourth on 1 point each. Both of them draws came in that first group round. Chelsea 0-0 with Sevilla, beating Krasnodar 4-0 away, and then 3-0 against Rennes at home. And, Chelsea should be pretty comfortable now. Obviously, so should Sevilla.
I think this is another one of those where, depending on who finishes... Well, they play each other in the second game of the last three. So that could be the key difference on who finishes top and second and who plays second in the other group.
Yeah, if Chelsea and Sevilla both win this coming round, then they're both qualified anyway. And it will come down, you'd expect, to who wins that game. I believe a score draw will give Chelsea the advantage because I think they do the away goal sort of rule when it comes to tiebreaker. If not, it will be down to goal difference, and Chelsea have a pretty big advantage there.
Yeah.
So as long as Chelsea don't lose against Sevilla, then you expect Chelsea to top the group. And this has been a positive for Frank Lampard, really.
Yeah.
A relatively easy group, but they've come through with no real trouble.
I think this has been the same as Man City in a way, because Chelsea haven't exactly been great in the Premier League. They've had a couple of good weeks where you look at them and think they're looking really good at the moment. But in terms of a whole start to the Premier League, it hasn't looked great. And in the Champions League, they're just flawless.
Yep. They have been helped by 3 penalties so far, which is the joint highest amount of penalties that have been scored in the Champions League so far this season. Werner scoring all of them. And that seems to have transferred over to his Premier League form, where he's starting to score goals now as well.
Yeah. We both predict this is another group where we both predicted the same.
Yep. So we basically need Sevilla to beat Chelsea and Rennes to beat Krasnodar.
Yep.
And
Sevilla top, Chelsea, Rennes, Krasnodar.
So yeah, also one where we could both very easily be spot on with that. Group F gives us another one of them surprising groups for me, really. We've got Dortmund top on 6 points, Lazio second on 5, Brugge on 4 points, and Zenit bottom on 1 point. The shock for me is Lazio beating Dortmund 3-1. I expected Dortmund to walk this group.
Yeah, same. It's still very, very tight as well. 6 points, 5 points, 4 points. It could go either way in the next 3 games. I expected Dortmund to just walk this. I expected them to be doing can't remember Munich. I expected them doing the Munich and just scoring for fun in this one. But yeah, they've had a 3-0 win and 2-0 win, and then the loss against Lazio. But I'm still confident that they're gonna go through.
Yeah, you'd expect them to, with the players they've got as well, to kick on and quite easily qualify. They do have one of the top scorers, joint top scorer even in the Champions League in Haaland, which shouldn't really surprise anyone. Any ideas who he's joint top with? He's one of 4 players to have scored 4 goals.
I'm gonna go Rashford.
For this one.
That's a good one. There'll be someone from Munich. I can't think who's been scoring. It's his name's why can't I think of his name? There'll be someone from Munich, and I'm guessing Jota.
Jota is one, yes, and the other one is not from Munich. He's from Juventus. Alvaro Morata.
Oh, okay.
Also on 4. I don't think Bayern's top scorer is on 2 goals, Kingsley Coman.
Coman? Oh, okay.
So, their goals are being spread around a bit. He's one of a couple of players that have scored 2 for Bayern, but he's top on the goals per minute chart for them. So, but yeah, Rashford and Jota was the 2 from the English teams that are up there. And let's say you expect Haaland to kick on now and continue his run of goal scoring form in the Champions League. I think the shock for you, I'm probably quite right in saying this, is Zenit. Because you had them to finish second in the group. I had them to finish 3rd, so I wasn't much better, but
I like Zenit. I thought they was definitely going to do a lot better.
We both had Lazio bottom.
Yeah.
We sort of wrote them off.
Club Brugge can stay there. I'd be happy with that, and Dortmund stay there. Just need Lazio and Zenit to swap places.
I can't see that happening now. We're 4-point difference between them.
Stranger things have happened this year.
That is true. Another one when the second round coming back, Dortmund play Lazio in what could potentially be the decider at the top of the group.
Yeah.
But I suppose Lazio has to be a slight bit disappointed, after beating Dortmund in the opening game and then having 2 1-0 draws. After that, you think you beat Dortmund and okay, well, we can take on anyone now in this group.
I think it's just one of those surprise results into it, and then it's just on the night, how it happens on the night kind of thing.
It's one of them groups to keep an eye on, because that's going to be one that probably goes down to the wire. Group G.
I think when you look at results like Lazio beating Dortmund, there's one later as well. There's just one surprise one that you sweep it under the rug and just forget that it's happened.
True. Group G was one I was looking forward to. Obviously, we got Messi versus Ronaldo yet again. However, we didn't. Coronavirus robbed us of Messi versus Ronaldo. And possibly robs Juventus of a chance to top this group, maybe. Barcelona are top on 9 points, Juventus second on 6 points, and then Dinamo Kiev and Ferencvárosi, nailed it, both third and fourth on 1 point each. Barcelona have been scoring for fun, pretty much. And yeah, I mean, it is a shame that we didn't get the Messi versus Ronaldo in both group games, but we still have a game to come, and that is the final game in the group as well.
Yeah, so that could be a tasty one. Barcelona on 9 points, so I think they're pretty much through. I don't think it's going to be one of those that's a decider, but it could definitely be interesting. And if they are both through, I think they are going to be through. We're looking at the points, but what teams are they going to be putting out? Are they going to put in Messi and Ronaldo?
That's true. Obviously, if they both win their 2 games before that, then Juventus has still got a chance to top the group. They just have to win by more than 2 goals.
I suppose it all depends on what games they've got either side of this game, doesn't it, at the weekend in the league?
That is very true.
Barcelona is another team as well that are doing absolutely awful in the league, yet they just walk in the league. They walk in the group stage in Champions League. So it's like Chelsea, Man City, and Barcelona. They just put in more effort into the Champions League this season.
Barcelona are also the other team that are joint with Chelsea in terms of how many penalties they've had. They've also had 3 all scored from Messi. Considering they, put 5 past Ferencvárosi and 2 past Juventus, they then struggled a bit against Dinamo Kiev, which is a little bit of a shock, really. 2-1, but then also Juventus, only won 2-0 against them, so they could potentially feel a bit hard done by to only have 1 point at this stage.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I had the bottom 2 right. So that can stay as it is, but I had Juventus finishing above Barcelona. I think there's a lot of unrest at Barcelona at the moment. Ronald Koeman coming in, the whole Messi trying to leave for free. Suarez demanded that he left. So I think Barcelona's in a bit of a mess at the moment in terms of what's going on off the pitch.
Yeah.
And
obviously, they've got the new president coming in, but I don't think he comes in until the new year. I don't think he takes over until then. But like we say, they should be through, and if Barcelona can get their off-field distractions sorted, then they are one of the teams that can very competently win this.
Yeah.
They do have a good squad with some incredible young players, Ansu Fati being one of them. I currently have this group spot on. So again, this can stay how it is. I'm loving that. And then the final group, which brings the final English team, Manchester United top of the group on 6 points, Leipzig second on 6 points, PSG on 3 points in third, and Istanbul Başakşehir on 3 points as well. Tasty group, this one. This one was my group of death there that I picked out from the start. Manchester United beating PSG 2-1 on the opening day for putting 5 past Leipzig, and then a shock 2-1 defeat in Istanbul.
Do you
And
want them results where say you just sweep them on the rug and forget about them? Yeah.
I mean, this seems like one of them groups now that nobody seems to want to win. So
I mean, we're gonna win it.
you've predicted yourself second, so you don't want to win
Well,
it.
no, that was before. I expected us doing a lot worse against Leipzig. Obviously, we smashed them 5-0. Rashford getting his first, I believe it's his first hat trick for Man United,
I think so. Yeah.
but his first Champions League hat trick as well in that game. We looked amazing compared to how we were looking either side of the weekend in the league. Shock result here. Well, obviously the shock result was us losing against Istanbul 2-1. We just didn't look like a team at all. Then we looked like a bunch of 10-year-olds. No offense to 10-year-olds that's watching this, but I think the big shock at the start was no one expected us getting a result against PSG,
Yeah.
and we went out and we won 2-1.
And on that same basis, like you say, the week before you put 5 past Leipzig, and then they came and beat PSG 2-1 as well. And PSG are struggling big time this season in the Champions League with the money they've spent and the quality of the players they've got.
Yeah,
It really
I
isn't
think this was
great for
one of
them.
that I think you expected PSG to walk this one as well, didn't you?
Sort of, yes. We both had them top, and Istanbul finishing bottom. But you had United in second and Leipzig in third, and I had Leipzig going through in place of Manchester United. And I mean, it says it all when PSG's only win comes from 2 goals from on loan Everton reject Moise Kean. Not Neymar, not Mbappe, Moise Kean.
Yeah, yeah. I think this is an interesting one. The next 3 games are definitely important. It's still open. We could still finish third, fourth.
Yep.
I can't see us finishing fourth. I can't see Istanbul getting many wins. Hopefully, we can get our revenge on them next week. Yeah, next week. But obviously, it all depends on Leipzig and PSG trying to get their revenge on us. So this is well open. I don't think we can look at the league table, the group table now, and say this is how it's going to end because it's just too open. It's too unpredictable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting everyone now to beat Istanbul, but again, we didn't expect Istanbul to really stand a chance in this group, so who knows? But for me, it's going to come down to then games between the top 3, and one of them has to miss out, and it's 3 pretty big teams. 1 team with some Champions League pedigree, 2 teams not so much. But it is going to be a relatively big team that is going to be missing out one way or another.
I think the thing as well, it goes against all the teams that's in the Champions League playing next week. Is we've just had a 2-week international break. The players will get back together towards the end of this week, ready for a league game at the weekend, and then flying out, or depending if they're home or away, then a Champions League game midweek. So it's going to be tough on the players. We've already discussed in previous videos how the schedule's just getting hectic at the moment. Kind of glad that we haven't got to fly out to Istanbul again. But the teams that have got to fly out are the teams where we've seen some players this week test positive for coronavirus as well for various teams. It's definitely going to come down to the players' fitness, I think, for PSG, for Leipzig, and for Man United.
Yeah, very much so. Obviously, United take a little bit of solace from the fact they get an extra day. Now they are playing on Saturday and then Tuesday. The league aren't being horrible to them this time, and you play Monday night and Tuesday night. So that'll be a nice little boost. There is only 1 team out of all the teams so far that hasn't scored a goal. Do you want to take any guesses on who it is?
We are looking at the group. Haven't scored a goal. I'm gonna go something like Zenit.
Zenit have scored 2. Is actually Marseille.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Marseille haven't scored a goal, and potential whipping boys, Ferencvárosi, have scored 4. They've scored more than, well, same amount as PSG, Atletico Madrid, and Inter Milan. So,
Yeah.
in fact, same as Ajax and Leipzig as well. So,
yeah.
So yeah, I don't think
Wow.
anyone really expected that. So yeah, it's been crazy.
It's definitely an interesting one. Just like the Premier League, it's definitely interesting this year.
Yep, definitely so. And like we say, we get the Champions League football back next week, and I believe it's 3 weeks in a row again of Champions League football. The final group games are played the 8th and 9th of December, and then we get the draw for the last 16 on the 14th of December. First legs 15th, 16th of February. Second leg 16th, 17th of March. My plan for these, whether you're interested or not, was to, once we get the ties, just predict who's going through from each tie. So not each game score.
Yeah, that's
just
fine.
Predict who's going through. And we will also start to take a look at the Europa League. We will do a video later on about the English teams, British teams that left in there. Obviously, there is some Scottish teams and an Irish team in there as well at the moment. But neither's really watch Europa League football, so I personally feel a bit of disservice if we would sit here and pretend that we know about it.
Yeah, I think it's one of them, and I'm sure we're not the only fans that do this. We only really watch, or pay attention to it if our team's in it. I'm sure Tottenham and Arsenal fans won't really be paying attention to it if they wasn't in it.
I mean, I will just quickly pull up the group tables. Arsenal are top of their group with maximum points. The Irish team I mentioned, Dundalk, are bottom of the same group. We also have Rangers, obviously from Scotland, joint top of their group with Benfica. Who else? Leicester, top of their group, maximum points in there. Celtic, bottom of their group with just the 1 point, which is a bit of a surprise for Celtic. And Tottenham, top of their group, 6 points. They're joint with Antwerp and LASK. So that's a bit of a tasty group there. Like I say, we will focus a bit more on whichever one of these teams make it through to the knockout rounds. And probably not Celtic.
I think one thing, I mean, like you say, Celtic, they're rock bottom. They was actually in the qualifiers for the Champions League as well. And they suffered a very shock defeat in the qualifiers there. So they're not having a good run at all.
No,
I don't know how they're doing in the league either. But
they lost 3-1 to Milan, drew with Lille, and then lost 4-1 to Sparta Prague, which is a pretty big.
They're tough games.
They are, but I mean, I personally expect Celtic to be making it out of that group, but. Just looking at the league table, they're 9 points behind Rangers, but they do have 2 games in hand over them.
Right. I think one positive for Premier League, English football Premier League, is all the clubs through both competitions are top of their groups.
Yes.
Even if they're joint top, they are still top. The 4 teams in Champions League and whatever. So I think that's a positive for English football.
Yeah, there is a real chance of having a repeat of a couple of years ago where both finals are all English teams. And that'd be fantastic for the Premier League. I can't personally see it happening, but
I can't see much past Bayern Munich getting there at the moment.
I don't know. I kind of like City to get to the final just so we can batter them there.
Oh, so you think you're into the final then?
Of course, we're getting to the final.
I think for me, I think the standout team for me, and is the team that I would have said before the first 3 games were played, would be Bayern Munich. You know, winning it last year and how they won it. You know, the lead up, the absolutely smashed Barcelona and Tottenham, and was it Tottenham or Chelsea? I can't remember.
Chelsea.
But yeah, but they absolutely walked it last season. They're on a very good run in Champions League at the moment, so I think they're the standout club for me at the moment.
Yeah, my pre-tournament prediction was obviously Juventus to win it, and they look like they're going to get through. And obviously, with Ronaldo in the team, you definitely can't look past them. We all know what he can do in the Champions League. Well, not just the Champions League, any game. If you need someone to step up, he's going to grab it by the scruff of the neck and step up. I did mainly pick Juventus purely because I want Buffon to finally win a Champions League, but no, Bayern definitely are the standout team. But they seem to have a little bit of tension happening off field as well at the moment, so they could be an interesting one to watch going forward. But it has been a pretty good first 3 games, and I'm expecting lots of goals for the next 3 and for the rest of the tournament, to be fair. So, and I just
think
hope,
if you're up for it, I think if we tweet out not do a video, but tweet out our predictions for Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, can certainly do that.
It'll be interesting because it's absolutely all over the place. So I don't think we'll get any right, but.
Well, not if our Premier League forms to go on recently. So, but yeah,
definitely.
That is going to be the end of this video. We do have the predictions and obviously podcast videos coming out every week. So make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to check them out. Find out first as soon as they get dropped. If you do want to ask us any questions, all of our socials are down in the description below. Go and chat with us. Football related, brilliant. Not football related, I'm sure we can find something to talk about regardless. So come and say hello. Come let us know who you think is going to win the Champions League. Is there going to be a shock this year? Are we going to get a first-time winner? Are we going to get a repeat winner? It's all up in the air. Don't forget to smash that like button to let us know you want to see more Champions League content as well. Exactly, smash it just like that. I've been Tuna.
I've been Elmo.
Till next time, stay safe and we'll see you in the next one.